Like so many of you did, property owners in southern Colorado appealed to get their property value lowered.
Appealing was probably a real stupid decision.
We found out appeals can go the wrong way. Now they're trying to appeal the appeal. Turns out the person trying to give Aurora's mayor more power is Aurora's mayor. Who could have seen that coming?
Why were you avoiding transparency?
Colorado Republicans are split. That's not news, except when it comes to impeaching the president. And Edgewater's Latina community is coming together to build lasting wealth, and we can help them get there $5 at a time. That and more tonight on Next. Property owners sent in a record number of property value appeals this year, all in hopes of convincing their county assessor to reduce the value of their home to shrink the increase they received on their property tax bill. There's one little problem that even we didn't know about until our Mark Salinger got to Costilla County in southern Colorado today. Appealing your property tax value could put you at risk of it going even higher.
Change is slow.
This carpet's 23 years old.
For more than 2 decades,
23 years.
Thomas Larson has called rural Costilla County home.
I'm 82 years old, so I'm considered a senior citizen.
The house looks pretty similar to how it did when he finished building it.
I haven't touched it. One thing, I'm too old. The other thing, I can't afford it.
Change moves slow, unless we're talking about property valuations.
$640,017. That blew me away.
$640,000. A lot, considering just last year the assessed value was under $140,000. Then Thomas got a card in the mail a couple months back telling him it went up to more than $300,000. He appealed to try and get it lowered. When Thomas got his appeal back, the assessor said his home was worth more than $640,000.
They doubled it. So I feel like I might have been better off not to say anything.
The county assessor has the power to increase values after someone appeals. Higher property values mean higher taxes.
Appealing was probably a real stupid decision, yes. A massive increase in property value. And I ain't done nothing to it. I haven't done anything.
You know, the system is broken if it can lead to such radical changes in a single assessment period.
Tom Phillips lives down the street. His value also skyrocketed. Now they're fighting back.
You know, we're starting to band together. We actually had some community meetings down at the community hall, and that's where we found out that we're not alone.
Together, they appeal, yet again.
Why would you do that?
In front of the Board of County Commissioners, Thomas pleads his case. Hundreds more signed up to do the same over the coming days.
I have not even done any improvements on it. It's the same as it was when I built it.
In less than 15 minutes, the deputy county assessor decides she's reducing the assessed property value from $640,000 to $350,000. No explanation on why, how she came to that conclusion, or why it was ever valued so high.
Okay, thank you very much.
A win in a process where change doesn't always make sense. We've been trying to talk to anyone in the county assessor's office down here in Costilla County for the last couple of days, sent them multiple emails. Finally had a conversation in person with the deputy assessor. She told us she saw our emails, but didn't have time to talk to us. In San Luis, I'm Mark Salinger.
If you're considering taking your appeal to the next level, we got to warn you. Your property valuation could keep increasing with each appeal. You didn't know that? Yeah, we didn't either. Turns out the state does not require assessors to warn you before you decide to appeal. So now you're worried about your appeal. Well, don't. Yet. There are some success stories out there, kind of. We told you about Breck Larson in May. He's an Arapahoe County homeowner who appealed after his property value increased 81%. He went above and beyond to show off the worst aspects of his home, submitting dozens of pages worth of documents and photos of his 1970s fixtures, a retro turquoise bathroom, even some asbestos. His appeal only convinced the assessor to come down about 10% on his valuation, not the 30% decrease he wanted.
I'm kind of looking at this as the 10% off my property value isn't really helpful because it only knocks $1,100 off my taxes, and my taxes are pretty hefty considering how high they valued my property. 10%.
People in Costilla County might want a restaurant coupon right now. Just like those homeowners in southern Colorado, Larson told us he's also considering taking his appeal to the County Board of Equalization for a second opinion. The Larimer County Sheriff office says a deputy was within department policy when he tasered a man on I-25 who was then hit and killed by a car. The deputy was not charged with a crime, though the district attorney who reviewed the case said the deputy used poor judgment. The family of the man killed wants the deputy charged for what you're about to see. And a warning, while we're about to show you body camera footage, we will stop it before you see anything you cannot unsee. Brent Thompson was pulled over in February for having expired tags. He apparently gave the deputy a fake name. And when the deputy learned it was fake, he went back to Thompson, who then ran toward I-25. The deputy threatened to stun him with a taser and does, just as Thompson begins to run across the highway. Just a few seconds later, he was hit and killed by a driver on I-25. Today, Thompson's family indicated they're going to take the Larimer County Sheriff's Office to civil court. A use of force expert told us it should be pretty common training that you do not use a taser on someone who's in a vulnerable position, like if they're standing on a ledge or in the middle of a highway. Since the internal investigation found the deputy's action was within policy, he will not be disciplined. We now know who is behind the ballot issue to give the Aurora mayor more power. And since it's been a secret this whole time, I better whisper it. Come here. Now just a little bit closer. It's the current Aurora mayor. Mike Kaufman admitted to me today he's the one behind the effort to give the next mayor more power. Oh, by the way, he's running for re-election.
What was your involvement in getting this on the ballot?
No, I was involved early on.
And with that, Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman said what he's avoided saying for months. He's behind this petition that collected enough signatures to ask voters to give him more power.
Why were you avoiding transparency?
Well, I just think that it's, in hindsight, who knows, but I felt that it's not about transparency. It was about, to me, it wasn't an issue until it made the ballot.
This is what made the ballot, and what Aurora voters were asked to put their signature on. The ballot issue would reduce term limits from 3 4-year terms to 2 4-year terms, but more importantly, would change Aurora to a mayor-council form of government and give the mayor much more power. These petitions needed just more than 12,000 signatures, and got just more than 12,000 signatures, though we've heard from several who feel duped that they were only told about the term limits and not the mayor power grab.
What do you have to say about the people who feel they were misled into signing something they didn't know they were really signing?
Well, I'm certainly sorry if they felt that way. I mean, at the end of the day, there's got to be some responsibility on whoever signs it. I mean, I don't sign petitions unless I read the summary.
Voters have been, in my opinion, hoodwinked. They've been told this is about term limits when it's really not. Council members in Aurora already have term limits. While this does lower that from 12 years to 8 years, it is a drop in the bucket in terms of the total change that's happening here.
Aurora Councilman Curtis Gardner is normally on the same side as Kaufman.
We agree 90% or more of the time, yeah.
He is pushing 2 changes in Aurora. One, to make it a crime to be deceptive when gathering signatures, and to limit ballot issues to one topic. He also sees this as an issue beyond Kaufman.
Even if this were to pass, and if Mike Kaufman were to be elected, a day is going to come where he will be term limited, and it will be somebody else in that role. And so voters really need to decide and look past the next 4 years and say, is this what we want for the future of our city beyond the individual who sits in that seat today?
Who's behind this? Who's spending money?
Certainly I've contributed, and there are others, entities that have contributed, and that will show up on August 5th.
How much have you contributed?
No, I'm not going to say.
We're going to know in a week.
That's strategy, I'm not going to say.
How, if it's going to be on a document in a week,
No,
what's it matter?
No.
At the end of the interview, I tried one more time.
Okay, more or less than $10,000.
No. No.
I want to say that sounds like it's more. I don't know. The city is allowing people a way to petition their signature off the petitions. For those who feel like they signed something else, they can contact the city to have their signature no longer counted. The ballot issue made it with 181 signatures to spare. My extended conversation with Kaufman is on the next YouTube channel, where he tells me he wants all his administration to stay even if he had more power, including interim police chief Art Acevedo. For the past 3 years, your Word of Thanks donations have made an impact on Colorado nonprofits $5 at a time. This week, your donations can help Latina entrepreneurs achieve their own financial success. Here's Kyle with an update.
Hey, I want to tell you about something innovative that's going on in Edgewater to fight gentrification these days. Latinas are starting their own businesses with the help of a nonprofit. These are going to be businesses that will be owned and operated by the workers themselves. That's why this week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign supports Edgewater Collective's Incubadora Colectiva. These are worker co-ops. The first 3 are about to launch in August. These are women who are leveraging their skills, adding business knowledge with the help of the nonprofit, and setting up a co-op with the hopes of raising their own family's income, raising the income of their neighbors who also work for these co-ops, and being able to stay in a neighborhood that they love. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word thanks to 303-871-1491 to get the link to donate. As always, I'll match the first 50 donations of $5 that roll in because you've proven the power of microgiving. These are women with real skills. Arm them with business knowledge and they're off to the races. The first 3 worker co-ops start next month.
I don't think it's responsible for us to talk about impeachment.
Even when the president is the target, Colorado Republican Ken Buck breaks with his party. Golden shop owners are nervous that banning flavored vapes would hurt business, but another city in Colorado has proof that suggests there's nothing to be nervous about. And Colorado's drought-free status was nice while it lasted. I bet you can guess what map we're going to show you next. Colorado's congressional Republicans are split over suggestions that conservatives are considering impeachment proceedings against President Joe Biden. Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy first floated the idea on Fox News Monday, suggesting House Republicans should launch an impeachment inquiry into the Biden family's finances. He has since walked that back, but Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is running the other way. She drafted articles of impeachment last month and has threatened to bring them to a floor vote if they're not introduced in committee. Meanwhile, Republican Congressman Ken Buck not on board. Today on CNN, he accused the House Speaker of trying to distract Republicans and the public from upcoming spending bills.
This is impeachment theater. We right now are starting the appropriations process, and there is not consensus on the Republican side about what the numbers should be. I don't think it's responsible for us to talk about impeachment. When you start raising the I word, it sends a message to the public and it sets expectations.
Impeachment theater sounds less exciting than Barbenheimer. That Barbieheimer? I don't know. We've talked about the double buck previously. This is perhaps a half buck. While he says it's too soon to talk impeachment, he still thinks there should be an investigation into the president's finances. Speaking of Congresswoman Boebert, there is another candidate who has entered the race to try to take her job, another Democrat. Grand Junction Mayor Anna Stout filed her paperwork today to run for Colorado's 3rd Congressional District. That means another primary on the Democratic side. Adam Frisch, a former Aspen City Councilman, lost to Boebert by fewer than 600 votes last fall. He's back in, and he's raised nearly 3 times more than Boebert so far. We told you our drought-free luck would not last long, and now parts of Colorado are getting dry again. Shocker. The state's drought monitor shows parts of southwest Colorado getting abnormally dry. See the yellow there from Grand Junction all the way to where Mark was in Costilla and Montezuma counties around the Rio Grande National Forest. That's a pretty good indicator that those areas are headed back into a drought. Lauren, we know that drought is just a snapshot in time. So one day it's going to look like one way, and then today, like in the metro area with more rain, if we were in drought yesterday, we probably wouldn't be today.
That's right. And I like that you said heading back into a drought, because those yellow areas that are abnormally dry, technically not drought conditions yet. You have to go up another level to get into drought. Abnormally dry is just kind of a warning, if you think of it that way. But we do still have some scattered brief showers, not likely to drop a whole lot of rain, but they'll be pretty gusty. We have a live look outside over downtown Denver where we've been watching these gusty rain showers push through. We saw some at DIA maybe an hour or so ago. It's drying out there. Good mix of sun and clouds, 72 degrees. Dew points at 62 degrees, so pretty muggy out there. Calm winds at the moment. Where it comes to really hot weather, we do still have heat advisories in place for the next couple of hours further south. This is going to be San Luis Valley, Huerfano County, and western Los Animas County, where these temperatures are going to be around 90s to 100. So you do want to stay aware of heat-related illnesses over the next few days, as these temperatures are above average, getting all the way into the upper 90s, triple digits in some areas. As it comes to those very scattered showers, you can see northern portions of the state getting these scattered showers, and then southeastern portions of the state getting these scattered showers where we're seeing that dry weather. You can see a big gap in these showers, and this is why they're seeing that there. But as we take a look at the rest of the state, we have been watching these brief showers push their way through Denver and then now making their way into central and northern portions of the plains. We have no severe thunderstorm warnings attached to any of these, but some of them could become stronger, especially over central and northern portions of the plains where we do have a slight risk for severe weather. Other areas, northern and surrounding this slight risk, we have marginal risk. So we're mostly just going to watch for strong winds and maybe some locally heavy downpours moving through pretty quickly. Overnight lows in the middle 60s, tomorrow highs in the 90s. We do have another day where we're going to watch for marginal risk for severe weather across the plains. And over the next couple of days, I'm pleased to say we go from the middle to lower 90s all the way into the 80s by next week.
This wasn't anything that significantly impacted these businesses.
The city of Golden does not want residents of any age hitting flavored vapes, and business owners say they're worried their sales will go up in smoke. A city that's already cracked down on sales weighs in. And RTD votes to slash transit fares, but does not predict much impact to their bottom line. Why? That's next. Golden City Council smoked out selling flavored vapes, and not just for kids, for everyone. Shop owners are worried this will hurt business, but a man who's been down this road before disagrees. Glenwood Springs City Councilor and former Mayor Jonathan Godis helped ban all flavored nicotine products from the mountain town back in 2019 to keep them out of kids' hands. Voters also passed a 40% tax on unflavored vape products and raised the buying age to 21. Godis says he has not seen anything to back up concerns from shop owners.
We didn't see businesses go out. We didn't see businesses go out of business. We didn't see a significant hit on the sales tax revenue. But I can say our finance director looked into it and saw that this wasn't anything that significantly impacted these businesses.
Godis said 2 vape shops left town before any of these policies started, but 3 smoke stores are still around. He also said that a year later, the city saw between a 5 and 10% rise in sales tax revenue from stores selling vape products, but perhaps that's from the higher tax. RTD followed through on a proposal to lower fares last night, the first time they've done so in recent history. Under the new fare structure, local and regional fees will be standardized into one fare. $2.75 for a 3-hour pass, or twice that, $5.50 for a day pass. Discount riders will also see lower prices. The new fares won't kick in until next year, but just so you know, passengers can still ride fare free through August. And starting in September, people 19 years old and younger can ride for free for an entire year. RTD's board of directors predicts the changes will mean more riders, but less revenue. It won't hit them in the pocket too hard, though. Most of RTD's funding comes from a 1% sales tax. Your dog's next replacement? And your feedback next.
This week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign is supporting Latinas in Edgewater who are starting their own businesses, and not just any business. These are worker co-ops where women are creating businesses that they will own and run with the goal of increasing their income enough that they can stay in a neighborhood that they love. This is an anti-gentrification project being run by Edgewater Collective. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word thanks to 303-871-1491 to join me in donating. The first 3 worker co-ops get off the ground in August.
We see you, people who bring your dogs everywhere you go, but you've been one-upped by the most Colorado thing we saw today. And don't come back. Yakety yak, don't come back. No, Trish snapped this photo on a hot day in Netherlands. Said at first she thought it was a mirage. That's fair, because you don't see a man walking his yak every day. Maybe he's just out for a walk. Maybe it's an emotional support yak. It's got to be what it is. If you see something that feels like Colorado to you, email it next@9news.com or the hashtag HeyNext. Some feedback on Mark's story, the best from Ray. Maybe Mark should go on the Board of Equalization like Marshall continues to go on Excel. He's got a new beat. I'll let him know it's from Ray. Thanks.